Oh, look at that. Last night it took forever, but here we are back. Community call number 60, which is crazy to think. But super excited about tonight's host, co-host, guest, Salem. So we've been talking a lot about Walmart recently. Obviously, it's been around for a little bit. There's been some buzz, but it feels like I think a lot of people are getting more comfortable with Amazon and looking for an opportunity to diversify. And you're hearing a lot of good things about Walmart. And I feel like the buzz is super strong now. I've been having a lot of people ask me about application and getting approved. And so when I saw Salem, we've been following him for several months. Love the content. His Drake stuff is amazing. So if you're not following him, it'll be in the notes. You got to follow him on Instagram. And listen, by the way, like that's the goal. Like if you are on YouTube, you got to follow him. We got to get him to 1,000 follows.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Like less than 10 away. So let's do that. Everybody help me get to 1,000 on Instagram. Let's help him get to 1,000.
Thanks, bro.
But tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to break into Walmart a little bit further, help you understand what Walmart is, whether you don't know much about it, whether you're thinking about it, whether you're starting to apply or you've been doing it for a bit and thinking about how you can scale up your business. That's kind of where I'm at. I've been selling a little bit, but need to really ramp up. We're going to get into all that tonight. Like I said, if you have questions, feel free to drop in the chat, raise your hand. If you are new, we keep this super casual. I run these calls, they're my calls, but they're for the community. So it's not about me, it's about you. Ask your questions, don't be shy. And we're gonna have a great call. It is recorded, so there will be a replay. If you miss something in the moment, don't worry, go check it out. If you're not in the group chat, get in the group chat because everything's in here. All the calls, all the live streams, and all the replays makes it very simple for everybody. But with that, let me just introduce our guest for tonight, Salem. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you being here and introducing yourself to the community.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you, everyone, for joining today, and I appreciate the opportunity. This is my 9th call today, so my voice is a little dry. So I just want to say thank you. Way past my bedtime, but I'm going to provide you, some sauce. Hopefully, spend the next hour to go over. So, just a little background about myself. I have a little timer here, so I don't talk too much about myself. But my name's Salem. I'm 29 years old. I've been doing Amazon for about 4 years now, and I've been on social media for about 2.5. A lot of people started from joining, Flips for Miles, which is a great guy. I love Miles. We have a YouTube video together, a couple of them. I actually learned from someone in a community who just invited me to learn with him, and it changed my life. And that same person invited me to go on Walmart, right? So I'll get into Walmart in a second, but I went to school, I went to college, I worked a corporate job, I worked my way up the ladder. I made good money, and I saw this as an opportunity not to leave my job at the time. I just saw it as, wow, this is a good hobby. I'm bored right now. Let me start. So I started doing Amazon, and it grew to Walmart. And now it's been 3 years on Walmart and almost 4 on Amazon. And, put the money aspect aside of all of it. It's a great community. Like, we're all on a call right now. We're all positive people. Everyone wants everyone to win. And that's why I like it. It's not negative, which is something I don't like. And my goal tonight is to answer your questions, give you insight on Walmart, but more importantly, just to tell you, anyone that you see online, I don't have thousands of followers, but I'm saying all these people, I work with a lot of them. We're all just people at the end of the day, right? We are not different than each other. So just always remember that. And most importantly, in this space, anyone could change their life at any point. And if you don't think that you can, it's probably not going to happen, just to be straight up with you, right? And what I mean by that is it takes one product for you to be confident that you're making money and you're doing the right thing, right? So be patient with yourself. If you're looking for this to leave your job, you're looking for this to pay off your car note, help with your mortgage, whatever it is that you want to do, it's possible to do it. So I just wanted to break that out first. I didn't know if you want me to go on from that, bro, or stop.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. So it's just an opportunity to understand a little bit more about you. So let's talk a little bit. So, I mean, you started Amazon. I think that's where a lot of people start, and so we don't need to really get into that too much. But how did you get from Amazon to Walmart? What was the thing that kind of said, hey, you know, might be an opportunity on Walmart. Let me move over there. And then how did you ultimately end up scaling up?
Yeah, so I mean, I wasn't doing, you know, I wasn't doing crazy numbers on Amazon. I was consistent though, and that's what the most important thing is, right? You want to get the consistency down before you go from 10K to 50K to 100K. But my buddy was saying how the margins are good, how it's low key. No one was posting about it at the time. I mean, there was literally nothing on anywhere. And I was like in my head, why wouldn't I do this, right? So when I started getting on the platform, I was definitely not putting a lot of effort into it my first year. You know, most people don't, right? You just kind of have it, you're working on it. As time progressed and I started testing more items, my buddies like, do retail arbitrage for Walmart, like go to Walmart, go to Target, go to Macy's, go to TJ Maxx. And I'm like, what? So I go and I'm like, dang, like this is crazy, crazy margin, right? So I started off doing RA for Walmart and scaled it to where my apartment, I couldn't walk in it. And as a reference, everybody, I lived by myself. I lived on the 3rd floor of an apartment, and I carried boxes up and down for the first year in the cold and the snow. Moved over to a garage across the street. It wasn't even below me. It was across the street, which was terrible. Moved into a garage. And then at that point, I'm like, okay, this is too much, right? Let me get a prep center. So now I have multiple prep centers and it's a little bit more manageable. If you think prep center, like it's going to solve all your issues, it's definitely nice with the not touching the products, but there's a lot of downsides to prep centers. Like, you know, they're sometimes very slow because they have other clients. You can't, you know, have access to your inventory and touch it. So anyways, that's kind of how I started scaling. But once I saw the potential of it, I was like, you know what? I know how to do Amazon. There's a lot of people talking about Amazon. Let me talk about Walmart because it's such a good opportunity. And I just kind of stuck with it. And here we are today, bro. Yeah.
Hey, Salem. So Santiago knows because I think he was on that call, and my buddy hit $1 million in revenue on our live stream.
Wow.
But for me, no, forget that. It's not about that. It's not important. For me, this is more important. You hit 1,000 subs on YouTube and you did it on our call.
Hey, thanks, bro. That's what's up, man.
Oh, let's go.
That's crazy. Hey,
I'm
thank you.
super excited about that.
Deserved it, man. Deserved it.
Appreciate that. YouTube is very difficult. If any of you know, it's not a. So thank you very much for that, bro. I appreciate you, man.
And respect. And he clearly puts a lot of effort and time into his YouTube videos. So thank you for subscribing. So something that you hit on, actually, I wasn't even going to think about talking about this tonight, but you reminded me when you were talking about your buddy, and it's something I talk about a lot, and it's networking. And so you got the idea for Walmart from your buddy, right? Like, how much do you rely on networking in your business?
I think it's the most important thing. And the biggest advice I could give to people is respectfully. If anybody knows me, I like to keep it very straight. I don't like to sugarcoat, but you never want to ask someone, hey, what are you buying? Like, share me a lead, unless it's like a group, right? You have 2-3 people in a group and you're sharing leads, that's fine. But if you were to come in my DMs and be like, hey, I'd kind of be like, you know, whoa. So always do your research before you network with certain people. Like, don't ask someone, hey, how do I add a Amazon product, right? Like, you could YouTube it. So that's like my biggest thing. But the other thing is get with people where you're at. If you're a beginner, find some beginner buddies. If you're an intermediate, find intermediate buddies. But also talk to people who are more experienced than you is the right word, right? You know, hop on a call with them. Hey, can you hop on a call with us? You know, we can network. Networking truly is your net worth. And people say it's not. It is, because think about it. If we surround ourselves with like-minded people on this call, if we all hung out with each other every single day, all of us, okay? And we worked on our businesses, we would all be successful and we would all be motivated because we would see Omar did this, Santiago did this. Like, it's just the nature of what it is. So when you network with people, you're getting more experience, but you're also putting yourself out there, right? And I'm not the type of person to talk publicly. If you saw me at the store, it's not that I'm not gonna say hi to you. I don't really talk much in public, believe it or not. But I talk all day on calls and in my messages and in DMs. And the thing is one person can change everything for you. I've had multiple opportunities lie in my lap for wholesale buys, Walmart buys, you know, XYZ, just reaching out to people and being your genuine self, right? I mean, they say never burn bridges, right? If you do something bad, we could all blast each other on social media. So it's like, you know, so definitely network with each other. I think Omar has a great community. And if you live in the same state as somebody, it's the biggest thing I'll say, the last thing I'll say about your question. I'm in Ohio. If someone's in your state, that's even better for you, right? Maybe you both share a warehouse. Maybe you both get a prep center. Maybe you both meet up once a month and share a VA together and train them together, right? Like these are all things that you could do to speed up your progress.
Yeah, and I'll actually, I mean, perfect example. Santiago was just sharing his VA in our group chat today. So perfect example. Santiago, you got a question?
Yeah. So about the VA thing. So yeah, for the next like 2 to 3 weeks, I'm like building business credit. So like I was talking to Miles, and he's like, you know, what you got to do is like don't use your credit card at all. So then that way, when you apply in like 3 weeks, like once Experian hits, that way you can get like the most. And you know, we just started going in depth about credit. So then I was like, you know, I just upgraded my VA to full time, and I had hired a second VA. So I'm like, you know, to tell them both, like, you know, I'm not doing anything for like 3 weeks. Like, you know, that's not ideal. So I was like, you know what, let me go. And cause I know my lady's a beast. So I was like, you know what, let me go and offer it to these guys. And I already connected them. They already have the disc, like we already set up the Discord and already set up the Google Sheets. And that's something that's awesome because like, you get to make friends, like true friends in this business. And one of the biggest things, like, you know, like Salem said, is the opportunities. Like, you know, I just started posting, like, you know, cause Miles was like on my ass about it. Like, hey, you should be posting, And I just started posting and stuff. And then, you know, I got a message like 3 days ago now that somebody messaged me like, hey, I want you to train my VA for me. And I was like, oh, like, you know, I don't really do that. Like, you know, I just have my VA. And like, oh, I don't care. Like, I want you to train. Like, I see your face. Like, I trust you. And I was like, but I can refer you to somebody. And they're like, no, I want you. I'll pay you $1,000. I was like, 1,000? Yeah. You know, I was like, all right, man. Yeah, like, yeah. So I you know, I'm literally, right, like I've been training the VA. I have my VA training them in their language, Tagalog. And it's something like that. Like, it's just the opportunities kind of just following you up. Like, and I got another crazy opportunity today, which, you know, I'm still working on the details, but it's really crazy just putting yourself out there, just letting people know, like, hey, you know, I'm nerdy too. Like, you know, I'm myself. I love Amazon. I like making money, and let's do it all together, kind of thing. And you know, it's pretty big. So I just wanted to say, you know, huge. Yeah, it's 100%. Like, if you guys don't have a social media yet, like I know Miles says a million times, he's probably like, you know, he just shoves it down your throat. But dude, I cannot stress enough. Like, you know, at first I listened to Miles like everybody. I just put up one picture just to make him like, you know, fuck off. And then I was like, after a few months later, I was like, you know what, let me really try the social media thing. And it's just like 10x. Like, I got one of my craziest leads that I made 25K off of just in December from the group chat. Like, it's just, you know, the possibilities are ridiculous. So, you know, I didn't want to ramble, but I just wanted to say that 100%. If you guys haven't done it, like, I couldn't recommend enough.
Yeah, there's no, I would say, no bigger proponent of networking than me. So I think it's important to highlight that. So Salem, let's talk about, I should quickly talk about this. You know, for you, Walmart, and I think about this because I've been in it a little bit, and I talked to a guy who's in New Jersey, Aquino, who did our last Walmart call. He talks a lot about the opportunities. What do you see as like the biggest reason why somebody not even just get rid of Amazon, but to diversify into Walmart? What are those reasons for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is that, you know, it's a good question. The biggest one is that you're adding an extra store to your business. You don't have to go create a new LLC, right? You could use both storefronts for the same LLC. So you're basically doubling your cash flow is how you should look at it, is the first one. The second one is, you know, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket with anything, in my opinion, especially business, right? Most people that have businesses expand to other businesses, right? They're like, oh, I own this. They're diversifying. So it's very important to me, just having just Amazon is great, like if you're wanting to learn the ropes, right? But once you get it to a point where it's consistent, then it's a good time to open up your Walmart, right? If you're brand new to Amazon and you don't really understand everything, I don't think it's the best to, you know, go rush over to Walmart, right? But what I will say is that both platforms, Walmart is free to join. So if you get accepted in the Walmart, which is not the easiest thing to do right now, it's free. Now your account can get deactivated to be dormant, which means that if you don't use it, they'll get rid of it. But the biggest opportunity is that it's a new platform, and anything that's new always has new opportunity. For example, the internet back in the day, domain names back in the day. Imagine if that was our era, right? I'd be slanging domain names for millions of dollars, for example. So you want to hop on now and ride the wave with them, go through all the BS that you have to deal with, your applications being slow, they lost your inventory, XYZ, because you're only going to get better, right? Imagine if you would have joined Amazon 2-3 years ago, where you would be today, or Bitcoin, right? If you would have bought it, you don't want to look up in 6 months from now and be like, dang, I didn't apply for Walmart. Like, oh crap, right? Because early adopters win in everything, right? If you launch a third-party product, a private label on Walmart right now, for example, you have a huge advantage over Amazon because there's not as much competition on the PPC on Walmart. You see what I'm saying? So there's an opportunity with private label. There's an opportunity with reaching out to brands. There's an opportunity with just taking over listings that no one is on, which is pretty much a lot of them. So the opportunities are endless. But the last thing I'll say to that is that there's a lot of incentives for new sellers too. They're giving a lot of sellers, you know, discounts on referral fees, up to $75,000 in referral fees. So what that means is if your referral fee on a Keurig is $9.45 and you're a new seller, you're only going to pay 75% of that $9 and you get the rest back. So tons of incentives with Walmart right now.
And I had a question, and Santiago, I knew you have one too. Oh, what the hell was I going to ask you? Damn, I'm blanking. Santiago, go ahead, man.
Yeah, so I have a pretty unique situation.
Oh.
We talked about it before. So, oh, you want to go? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. We talked about it before, but just kind of want to see if maybe you have like a change, like a change of it there. So my issue is when I first opened the account, I opened it with my EIN, but I opened it with my personal email. And the second time I applied, I did it with my business email. The second one got approved, but it's in the verification stage, and the first one got auto denied. But it isn't approving me for the second one because it's saying that the EIN is tied to that first one. I've opened a million cases, but they're as useful as a car with no wheels over there. So I want to know what ideas you got regarding that, because I'm literally thinking about it. Might just open a whole new LLC and just do that.
So okay, so all right, that's a good question. All right, time out. No new opening anything right now. All right, so let me back up to when I started too, because this is important. I didn't mention this. When I was told about Walmart, okay, I attempted to open up my account. And it's the same way that you do it now. Nothing's changed, okay? Just want to make that very clear. Nothing has changed. I applied, got denied. Reached out, waited 2-3 months, kept seeing my buddy post about it, and it made me so mad. I'm like, oh my God, what do I have to do to get this account set up? Long story short, I moved my old apartment. I had to update my EIN. Updated my EIN, reapplied, denied. Waited 3 months, applied, approved. Okay, so my point is, they want to see that you're seasoned, right? They want to see that you're seasoned now more than ever. If you were talking to me a year ago on this call, everybody in this room would have got approved, okay, instantly. And that's just the reality of it, right? Now, all eyes are on it. Spotlight's on Walmart. They got to be more selective right now. So with that being said, everyone has to keep in mind a few things. The first one is the new year just started, right? You have to think about everyone that you know that was on break. Everyone over there is on break. We all have a life. We all personal. So that's number one. Number two, they are just being a little bit more selective, and they are taking their time. So if you're going to get denied off the bat, give it a little bit, maybe give it 3-6 months, grow your Amazon side, get your reviews up, get your storefront up, then reapply with a new email, Santiago, not a new business, just new email, same name, and go from there. Whether you get approved today, 6 months, 8 months, it's still going to be good. And 90% of people, I don't know if that's a true statistic, just in my mind, okay? 80% of people are going to be like, I'm not ready for that. I'm good. I'm not going to apply. I'm good. And they're going to forget about it. And that's the reality of the world we live in, right? And it's not that anybody's better than anybody. It's just you have to decide, are you going to put this into your arsenal and take full advantage of it, or are you not? Because if you don't want to, then I would just stick to your Amazon business and continue to grow it until you are. But some people work better when they have double. So all that being said, be very patient. I do have a call tomorrow with one of my representatives, and I'm being transparent on the call right now. It is not like I know stuff anybody doesn't. I mean, they're pretty much, I don't want to say not helpful, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. So I will ask them if they have an update on that, because I have a lot of people asking me about it. But that is pretty much the answer. Now, if you're waiting another 30 days or 60 days, then that's probably going to be an issue.
Now,
go ahead.
sorry, just a really quick question there. So, but wouldn't it affect even if I did with the new email, because the old EIN is tied to the first applications?
I don't really know if it has to do with your EIN. And like I said, I'm not really the expert with it, so I don't want to tell you yes or no, but the application is, your name, your email, your storefront link, your EIN, and that's it. There's not much else you could really do, right? I mean, so if they do deny you, I mean, just stay on it, but don't go create a new LLC and do this, because if you create a new LLC, they're going to be like, this just opened. Why am I going to approve that? And then you're going to have to show another storefront and that. Now, the other thing I'll say is if you ever have a chance to go to the Walmart conference or go with a partner or a friend who does sell on there, they could sometimes help you push stuff through as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
So what I say is that I was on a call just like this a year ago. Somebody was talking about Walmart and it sounded crazy. I was like, I got to get in on this Walmart. I wasn't ready to build a store or whatever, but I was like, when I'm ready, like I need to get in. I applied overnight, was approved. And so the difference between last year, this time, and today, that's a market difference. People are waiting months and getting rejected multiple times. So we're saying do it now, because in 6 months or a year from now, how hard is it going to be to get in? Or what is the waiting list going to be like? So do it now. I would say do it now for sure.
100%.
So, all right, perfect. I appreciate that. And actually also incentives, you talked about the referral fees. Just quickly, like, are there any other incentives that you've seen? Or one that I'll mention is the, so if anybody does PPC on Amazon, obviously you pay for it. It's a small fee and it can work really well. But on Walmart, I'm nobody on Walmart. I don't sell that much, but I got $2,000 in credits for ads. That's literally free money to promote your item to sell it. Makes no sense. I've had it for like, I don't even know how long. I still got like $1,500 left. So that's a great incentive. Anything else you know of?
I mean, they do have, I'm looking on the website right now.
I think was Q4 storage free?
Yeah, they always, well, they do Q4 peak storage. So,
okay.
If they do it every year, hopefully. So basically, for anyone that doesn't know what that is, they'll be like, hey, if you send in by October 31st, we'll waive peak storage fees. So when you're prepping up for Q4, as you get more experience, the more comfortable, really you could start planning for it like August, to be honest with you, is like the earliest you could start planning for Q4. So if you send in those items by that time frame, you'll probably save, I don't know, 1% or something like that. Not a lot of money, but any dollar amount adds up. A penny is money. So,
and a couple quick application questions. So somebody had applied and got approved and then denied this week after verification. Should they reapply again? Because they didn't say why they were denied.
If it's been 6 months, I would say go ahead and reapply. If they don't do anything after that, unfortunately, I wouldn't know. But shoot your shot. If it's been 6 months, I think that's a pretty respectable time frame. If you apply to a job and then you apply again 6 months later, it's like, okay, So I would say that one. With AK's question on your your application has been declined and access to your account is restricted. I think that's just a denial letter, unfortunately. And the one thing I hate about Walmart is that when you sign up for the account, it makes it look like you get approved, and then you have to wait to get verified everything. So that's always been like that. It throws people off left and right. But definitely just be patient with that. And yes, submit everything again. And yes, I would open up a ticket as well. So the one thing I'll say in this call, so maybe not that these aren't good questions, just so maybe you guys want to ask maybe different things, is that any question about like with Walmart, you always have to open up a case, right? So for example, with Amazon, you could be like, you know, hey Omar, how do I do this? And you could be like, oh, da da da. You might ask me and I'm not gonna know, and no one else is gonna know because it's Walmart. So you just always have to mentally know in your head that this is Walmart. Okay, if you haven't been to a store, it's Walmart. It's just, it's kind of like everywhere. They're big, they're huge. They don't have control over a lot of stuff, right? Secondly, it's a new platform. So whether you don't sell on there or you do sell on there, it's very, very glitchy, very, very slow. I'm talking about slow software wise, computer wise, printing labels wise. So you just have to be very, very patient with Walmart. On the Amazon side, to compare it, you have to have the patience to deal with the account specialists who, you know, do all that. With Walmart, it's just dealing with all the BS that comes with it. So
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about, so I know for me, one of the things about Walmart is kind of still in the infancy stage, and sourcing is a little bit harder. How do you go about sourcing? And I guess, like, do you feel like there's an information gap between Walmart and Amazon when you're trying to go find good products to source?
absolutely. And I mean, I'm not like, and I'll be honest with everybody, you know, I don't get upset when people say Amazon's the same as Walmart, because it's not. It's completely different. You don't really even need software for Walmart, in my argument. I'm not gonna like recommend that, but you know, you don't need a software to make money on Walmart. But
I want to hear.
yeah, so I mean, like, so this is so I'm gonna give you some different ways to source. Does that help answer your question? I give you
Yes.
3-4 ways. So the best way to source for Walmart right now today is first off going to be retail arbitrage. And for everyone that doesn't know, you know, going to stores, Ollie's. Like, and the one thing before I list off store names, there's not a magical store that Omar and I talk about where we make thousands of dollars a month at just because we go to it, right? These are everyday stores that we all go to. Macy's, Target, Walmart, Kohl's, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Burlington Coat Factory, Grocery Outlet, whatever store you want to. That is where you should go and scan with your Walmart app, not the Walmart seller app, everybody. Just pull it up real quick. Your Walmart, I don't have an item, but just your Walmart app, just a scanner. And if you scan something and it says $10, it will show you right below the listing. And if the listing is $30, $40, try it out, right? Without software. But I would recommend getting a software. But the best way to do it is RA. My business partner, Joey, he does.
And what do you like? Sorry, what software do you like?
I don't really have a preference. I mean, I use Martyr and Sellify both because I have access to them.
Okay.
But they're both good. If you're doing retail arbitrage, I would recommend using Sellify.
Okay.
And if anybody wants to DM me on like Instagram, I could give you like a half off 3 months or something link. Martyr is good as well, but it's not good for RA. So if you want 2 birds, 1 stone, I would definitely recommend Sellify. But try both out and see which one you like better for sure.
Perfect. Sorry. So retail arbitrage.
You're good. Yeah. So RA is the best thing. The other one's going to be OA. So I'm talking about Amazon to Walmart. So we're going to buy from Amazon, sell on Walmart, buy and sold and shipped by Amazon, by the way, sold to Walmart. And then I got you. And then the other one is Walmart to Walmart. So you could buy on Walmart, sell on Walmart. And then the other one is Target.com to Walmart, Best Buy to Walmart. Just literally copying and pasting everybody sale products, everyday name brand products onto Walmart. Okay. And toys are good, everybody. Yeah. But don't just focus on toys. Okay. thousands of other things you could sell on Walmart. So don't loop yourself onto one category. Christmas is over. Toys still do good 100%, but not every toy does good year round. Okay. You have to be a little, test with that kind of stuff. Now, on the other side, you have wholesale as well. So if you do Amazon and you do Walmart and you have an wholesale order, well, boom, you just diversified yourself to double the customers, double the exposure because you're on Amazon and you're on Walmart selling the same damn thing. So you have to be strategic with it, but that's the very simple of it. So what I always tell everybody is, if you wanted to get started, open up a tab, walmart.com, open up a tab, google.com, go on target.com. You find a candle on Target on sale, copy, paste on Walmart, see what the price is. Make a list. Like literally like that. You don't have a Keepa, okay? You don't need to learn how to read a graph again. You don't have all these different things. So it's really just a matter of testing it and making those decisions, right? And it goes deeper than that, but that's the gist of it.
And so is that one of the things that I hear that from a number of people who do Walmart, is that while there's less data, what that now means for me is if I want to be successful, I have to test a lot more. So I'm going a lot wider and a lot less deeper and trying different things out.
Yeah. And I mean, well, and here's the thing too, like, there are indicators that we have to signify that something's going to sell well, right? You have a bestseller badge. You have plus 50 cart, 1,000 buy yesterday. Those are strong indications that they're going to sell. And you will have items that sell out instantly. Like I sold an item 3 days ago, all 13 that I bought, literally the same day sold out. And I'm like, I should have bought more, right? But if you're one second, I got you. But if you're buying something, like an electronic, for example, okay, I'm not going to go buy 30 of this if I don't know how it is, right? The goal at the end of the day with any product, whatever platform, is that you want to ideally find a replenishable, right? So if you're doing it the right way and you take your time to do a test buy, right, and it works, and you buy 10, it sells out the same day. If you go and have time to buy 150 and you do it quick enough, you could literally eat off that listing before anybody else comes. So that's how you kind of have to look at it. Yeah, go ahead with your question. I don't want to say your name wrong. Sorry.
It's
oh, I was like, is it Razzle or Razzle?
Razzle dazzle. That's her
name. Sarah. So my question was initially, okay, so how can you tell how fast a listing is selling? But you can answer that, you just have to test it. But what data can you see? Like, can you see how many sellers? Aside from that, sometimes it has the badge of like it sold 50 times or whatever. Like, what other indications are there?
I could show you. Let me think of something real quick. 1 second. Yeah, okay, here's one. Yeah, here's an example real quick.
You can share your screen if you want, or drop a link and I'll share my screen, whatever works.
I got you. Yeah, I'll make it easy for you. So for example, this was a Q4 cook. And don't worry, this isn't my address. People always say it's not my address, it's a fake one. Don't worry. So this is what I mean right here. This is like the best indicator. This was $15, everybody. $15 two ago. Okay. So you do do the math. My point is, this is saying that it's bought 50 times from yesterday and it's being sold by third-party sellers. That's a lot of volume, right? Now, I have YouTube videos to go more in depth on this as well, so definitely check it out. But you have similar information. So, for example, you do see the price history of it. You also get to see the offer count. So this is like the biggest takeaway. And I recommend, if you are looking at any software with Walmart, you want to look at all-time software, right? With Amazon, we look at 3 month, 6 month, a year. With Walmart, you want to look at all time because there's not a lot of data that we have, right? As we could see in this situation, it's only from December 22nd. So this tells us that it's selling 18 sellers to 17 to 15 to 6 to 4 to 3. Like that's the biggest thing. And then obviously you do have the stock count here. So 34. And what you'll notice, everybody, this is the opportunity question that you asked, Omar, is like, this is not a lot of stock on a product at all. And what you'll find is there might be 4 sellers, but this is what it'll look like. This is all the stock they have on something.
What program is this?
This is Martyr right here.
Okay.
Yeah, this one. And then you got the buy box. So to answer your question, yeah, you want to go wide. So if I had $1,000 tonight and I wanted to spend it and find good stuff, only spend it if you find stuff, please. Don't just spend it just to spend money, please. I hate when people do that. Your money is your most precious thing. Buy 5 items or 7 or 10 or 15, because you're not going to be gated in anything, everybody. 95% of the items you're going to sell, you are going to be ungated for. So don't go buy 50 of this, 20 of this like it's Amazon, because it's not, like I said, right? You want a very safe number. 5 is very safe. 3 is like very, very safe. And then 10 would be like risky to just buy 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. But go off your ROIs. And what you'll notice with Walmart too is like the average ROI is going to be 40%, 35%. It's not going to be 20% like Amazon. I mean, I found a product today. If you look at my Instagram, it was $1 selling for $20. I'm ungated, 1,000% ROI. I found 9 of them. So like, if you think you're going to find 16% ROI, just completely skip it. Yeah, go ahead.
What is the ungating process like with Walmart?
So with the ungating with Walmart, it's a little different, but I also have a video on it as well to go in more detail. But basically, you just add the item, open up a case. They tell you how many units you need, and then you send it to them. It's not like Amazon where they have you, submit 35 times and this and that. I haven't had to ungate anything in, I don't know, a long time, but yeah, I have some material on it. I could send you, Omar, some stuff after this too.
It's in the notes. All right, because Miles just posted, so it's I just put
cool.
it in the notes.
Awesome. Yeah, and I do have a community that he mentioned in the notes as well. Because I do want to keep this call till 10 if possible, because I have another thing. But
yeah,
we do have another community, and we have stock checkers, which is going to help you do retail arbitrage with Walmart. So you're able to, let's say you find this product that I just showed you, able to scan your zip code, and then you'll be able to see everywhere that that item is and how many are there. We also have guides on how to ungate. I just got off a call previously before this call with my team, our group as well. I have leads on there. We have about 300 people in there. Someone in there, I'm not going to say their name, but they did $1 million their first year on Walmart, which is pretty impressive. And we have people doing RA, OA, wholesale. So definitely check it out if you want. No pressure at all. I don't do free trials or anything, but there's a lot of info in there, and I answer all your questions too. So that's that with that. But like I said, if you want to get started today, go to Walmart this weekend. Okay. Don't just go to the clearance aisle. Okay. That's the easy thing to do. Obviously, go to the clearance aisle, but go to the regular aisle too. Go to the electronics. See if there's any electronics on sale, right? Go to the bathroom stuff. Go to grocery. There's sometimes grocery items, right? So the biggest thing I could say is, before answering any other questions, is don't compare everything to Amazon, right? Just because it sells on Amazon 1,000 times does not mean that it's going to sell on Walmart 1,000 times. But that also doesn't mean that it can't sell 1,000 times. Everybody understand what I mean by that? The product doesn't have, hold on. Oh, sorry, that's not good. 1 second. Does that make sense to everybody though? So like, I know this isn't a Walmart, Amazon call, but you don't want to compare Amazon because it's not Amazon. 1 second, let me send this to you. And the biggest thing I could say is have fun with it. You know, like the less information there is about something, it should be a positive for you that you're early in something. And at the end of the day, you know, that's always going to be the best thing, is to be early, in my opinion. So, all right, yeah, definitely sent you the wrong link, unfortunately. Let me.
Oh, it's all good. So I'll update it later. Let's use this time. I'll update those links so you guys have them. It looks like one of them works, but not the other two. But that's fine. I'll get those links, and they'll be updated in the sheet, and the replay will be in there a little bit later. So you'll have all that stuff.
Awesome. What other questions do we got though?
So you know what? Let's while anybody has any other questions, talk a little bit about brand direct, because I don't do anything brand direct, and I'd like to hear a little bit more about, you know, how you're working that and exactly what brand direct is, to be honest.
Yeah. So brand direct is basically going to be going directly to a brand and purchasing from them, right? So whether that's me going to Sharpie, as an example, the Sharpie marker, if I go to Sharpie, I'm like, hey, I want to buy, you know, from you. They might say, hey, go reach out to Omar Logistics Inc. They are our authorized distributor. So I go call them, open up an account with them, and then I'm buying directly from the brand. The benefit in that is that you're kind of protected because you're buying directly from the source, right? You're getting it cheaper than you would if you got it on Target. You're buying directly from the manufacturer, the supplier. So there's just a lot of upside to it, just because there's a little bit more barriers to entry than me just going into Walmart and buying an item. Along with that, you could also partner with brands. So I partner with a lot of different brands. I've launched a South Korean skincare brand that sells, one of their items is a feminine cleanser. It's very low cost and it does very good. We launched body wash, shampoo. It's like a beauty. I'll have to share it one day when it goes away. But I learned a lot from that, and I didn't make money from it like I thought, but I didn't lose all my money. There's items selling. I have reviews. It's good, but it's not like as much. So you could go that route as well. So let's say you see an item on TikTok Shop, and you go on Walmart and it's on Walmart, but it's not on Amazon. You could reach out to that brand and be like, hey, you know, you're on Walmart, you're on TikTok Shop. Why aren't you on Amazon? We can help you get on Amazon. If they're on Walmart and they're not on Amazon, vice versa. So you could kind of just do all these different things: RA, OA, wholesale, work with the brand, launch your own product, whatever direction it goes. But the reason why I like it is it's not that it makes me a more legitimate business. It just makes me more, it's more cash flow. It's easier for me to spend 15 grand or more knowing that I'm getting it from the brand directly, who makes the product, who authorizes me, gives me permission. See what I'm saying? So I could sleep at night and just literally, what I do every month is I just, hey, how you doing? You know, life's good, awesome, cool. Here's the invoice, paid, awesome, boom, have a good day, boom. 45 days later, hey, but so it's good to add into your arsenal. And that's what kind of brand direct is. So people who launch products like I did, me learning that process of launching this brand made me realize how simple, not easy, simple, different launching a brand is if you have an idea, right? So I'm not an expert, everybody, right? Like I think I'm really educated, but there's a lot of different things that you could do. My biggest advice as a beginner is just pick a lane and stay in it for a minute, right? We're talking about e-commerce right now, right? There's drop shipping, there's Shopify, there's day trading. All of those things work, right? You can make money on all of those. But if you start thinking, oh, I want to try this, you're never going to get good at one thing, right? So make sure you stay consistent with Walmart, stay consistent with Amazon, just like going to the gym and eating healthy. We'll come back in a call in 6 months, and I'm sure most of you will be on Walmart and doing better too, right? But if you want to learn brand direct and you want to get into wholesale, just my opinion personally, I would at least have 5 figures liquid ready to go to invest in that. Because when you're dealing with volume like that, everybody, you have to think, you buy from someone, it's going to take 2 weeks to ship it. It's going to take 2-3 weeks to get to Amazon. It's going to take 2-3 weeks or to get to Walmart, right? It's a longer process. So yeah. And we still have time, bro. My thing got canceled, so we're good. There's no need to rush.
Cool. And I fixed the links.
Thank you.
So
Yeah, no rush.
it's 2 courses instead of 3. One is the community and one is the actual course. All right. So is anybody? I'll keep going with questions, but if anybody has any questions, feel free. Please just hop in, raise your hand, or just drop it in the chat. All right. So when you first got started from going from Amazon to Walmart, what was the like? Oh, like immediately the first week, like I was making like 5K, or like did it take you 3-4 months to really get in the zone? Like, what was the transition period?
Yeah, I mean, it took me probably a good 8 months, to be honest with you, to really get into it heavy. What happened was I went to Hawaii at the time, and my buddy's like, go to Target, and I lived right next to a Target. So I'm like, okay, I went to Target, and I bought a whole bunch of toys on sale. Okay, like I'm talking about any toy I saw. It was like 10, 12 different toys. I bought like 3-4 of them, and I shipped this package out. And when I was in Hawaii, I remember all of it sold, like tripled, 3 times as much. And I remember sitting there and I'm like, oh shit, like this is like way more than on Amazon. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of when I realized that it works. Because when you look at Walmart, if you log in, it doesn't look good. It looks like crap. Like it just doesn't look like, I don't know how to explain it. Amazon's is different. But that was kind of the switch in my head. And then I don't know what it really was, but I just started, the more I posted about it, the more I wanted to get into it. Because I'm like, people are like, oh, getting into this, and now that it's so mainstream or getting there, it makes me just want to go deeper with it. But I started off just cross-listing, to answer your question, and just testing stuff, right? You will see a lot of times that if you're looking at product A on Amazon and product B on Walmart, if you're looking at 2 products on 2 different platforms, one might be $2 higher, one might be $3 higher, right? Depending on what it is, right? If you list on both of those, and let's say Amazon is selling way faster than Walmart or vice versa, you could really determine how much you buy and double, triple your profit and order. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be strategic with it all, is what I'm saying. And you have to learn that by putting in the reps, taking notes, mentally knowing, okay, I bought this for $12. If I blah, blah, blah. Like you have to analyze and just stop for a second. Everyone wants to buy, which is great. I'm not saying don't do that. But if you're learning a new platform, chill for a second, calm down for a second, and, do some research, learn the platform, learn how to add a product, learn how to convert a product. There's a lot of stuff like that that is very confusing, to where it's easier on Amazon too.
And so let me double back just real quick, because I didn't think we would have time. But so like you had a corporate job, and now this is what you do. This is your thing. Like, at what point did you realize, what, let me just dump this job and do what I really want to do, which is, e-commerce?
Yeah. So, so I worked for, if anybody ever rented a car from Enterprise Rental Car, okay, everybody know Enterprise Rental Car. I interned there when I was in college, and I got hired out of there, and I worked there for 6.5 years, and I got treated like the best person ever because I was good at what I did. Okay, confidently saying that. I ran airports, I ran everything. There was a situation that occurred where they told me I could do this, and it was all BS, and my feelings got hurt because I put a lot of time into that company. Okay, ever since that day, my whole personality just changed. I'm like, you know what? F you all. I don't give a, you know what? Okay. So when I left that job, I attempted to do my Amazon store. I just had Amazon at the time, and I was mentally not in the right spot. I didn't have enough inventory. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So I did what any smart person would do, I think, in my opinion. And I found another job after a couple months that was less stress and better for me. So I got a job in sales. Okay, this was a 1.5 years ago. Got a job in sales, and I realized I'm really good at selling stuff over the phone. Like, I don't even have to meet these customers. I was doing it all on the phone because I was good at it, and on email. And everybody else in my office was driving the clients. I would use all my time working on my business. Okay, is the answer to your question. If you look at my YouTube videos, there are videos of me early in the morning at my office doing YouTube videos. And I look so exhausted and so tired. And I go back to these thoughts of you bringing that up because it was a very lonely part of my journey. But it came to a point to where I was like, I know what I'm doing. I'm making enough money to, you know, pay my bills, invest, do whatever I need to do for my life. Everybody's life's different, right? Everybody has different priorities. Everybody. But I told myself, I'm not leaving this job until I make more than my job X amount of times. And I just put the foot on the gas to answer your question. I was buying more, staying up later, networking with people, training my team better. You know what I mean? Letting your team know what your goals are. People say don't tell people your goals. You need to tell your team where your mind's at. Hey, I want to get to this so we could pay you more to do this. And it just kind of snowballed. So it's been 7 months today since I left my job, and it has been the best thing I've ever done, but it definitely had a lot of downs in the beginning, obviously, and it still does. It's not perfect, but you know, I've been up since 5:30 today, and I've been working my ass off all day today, and it's 10 o'clock, right? That's the life I chose. So I will never complain about being on my computer. I will never complain about, you know, having to deal with the ungate. I'll never complain about any of that shit because, to be honest with you, I don't have to go through what I did in the past of not seeing my family, my friends, going to work for someone else and doing something for them, and when I didn't do stuff for myself, right? So if you do work a job, anybody, right? I'm not saying go quit. Quitting is not for everybody. It's not. Some people are meant to work a job and they're really good at it, right? But have an open mind, and if you want to leave your job eventually to do something else or do this, it's 100% possible to do it. And I offer mentorship too, like if you want to do that. But if I could do it, I promise you could do it. You know what I'm saying? So please don't just quit and be like, oh, I'm good. Like, you can, and I hope the best works out for you. But I knew I was gonna quit way before I quit, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So, and not to dwell on the negative, but you know, like what are some of the downs? And I only bring that out because I appreciate telling people stories and helping people understand that it's not like, oh, I just had a crazy corporate job and I came in and just dumped a bunch of money in it. Now I'm making 7 figures. Like, that's easy. But I like people to hear about some of the struggles too.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like finances are obviously a touchy subject for everybody, right?
Yeah.
You know, colleges, things like that. I was very fortunate. My father, he's not from this country. And growing up, he said, look, I'm working for colleges so you could go to school, and all you need to do is go to school and do whatever you want. You could be a garbage can man, you could be a painter, just go to college, okay? That is the thing that, you know, really stuck with me. So when I was working my job, you know, the hardest part of that is like, not that you wasted, you know, your time, but you just sometimes think about the past. Like, you wish you could have done this differently, or you wish you could have started your business earlier, or you wish you could have done this, right? The biggest thing is that it gets very lonely as well. Like, I have a partner now, I have a family, I have a support system, but no one ever understood what I was doing, right? Why aren't you coming out anymore? Why aren't you texting us back? Why aren't you doing this? So when you leave your job, it's kind of like people look at you a little funny, like, why'd you leave your job? What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of negative people, including maybe your parents, your partner. So you have to block out all that noise. But the biggest thing it comes down to is you're not getting that consistent paycheck. That's what everybody is wanting to do, and that's the comfort blanket. And I get it, 100%. You need money. We all need money, right? So when you don't have that constant money and you're relying on just Amazon or just this or just that, it gets a little, you know, scary at times. And for me, I was working 60-hour weeks. So when I'm just sitting at home, right when I quit, I mean, I was kind of like, I need to be doing something. Like, I don't, like, you know what I mean? I was staying up late, waking up early. But the biggest thing I could say is, if you ever want to leave your job to do this, it's, you know, have different things in place, right? Maybe you have Walmart, you have Amazon, and then you have you know, something else that you're working on the side. But the biggest thing is you need to understand how much money do you need to survive, right? For me, my cost of living is very low. I live in my apartment. I'm here all day. I don't go out to eat. I take my girlfriend out once a week to eat. I get groceries once a week. I get dessert once a week, right? I make my coffee at home. I'm not a cheap ass. I spend money when I travel and stuff, but I live comfortably because I don't want to go back to that life personally. It's not for me anymore. It made me very bitter, and it makes me upset talking about it like that. But my point is, how are you going to quit your job or want to do that if you don't know how much money you need, for example? Do you see what I'm saying? So if you do want to leave your job eventually, pay yourself slowly. Open up another checking account, right? I have like 20 accounts, like Tokyo trip, car, this, that, and just pull out $200, $500 and keep it in your account. And if you could take it out and keep it for yourself to pay off whatever, then that's great. And as you do that over time, if you're growing, then you could be like, wow, I could take out $1,000 this month. I could take out $3,000 this month. Holy shit, I could take out $5,000 this month. Wow. And you do that 2, 3, 4, 5 times, then you're more confident, you know, leaving your job. But whether you have a family, kids, like honestly, the best advice I could give you if you do work is find a system that works for you. And for me, it was work out at 4 a.m., go over my leads at 5:30, eat breakfast at 6:15, leave for work at 6:30, right? Other people, it's I stay up to 2 a.m. Like you have to find what works for you, and do it. And like I said, it was the hardest thing I think I've done. That was a lot, but hopefully I answered your question.
No. I think that was a really comprehensive and authentic answer, because all that stuff is important. The loneliness it's funny. Somebody was just talking to me. I was talking to somebody about this weekend, and they were like, "Oh, you got a bunch of friends," and I was like, "Well, yeah, but all we do is talk about Amazon, right? Like it's different." And you know, if you don't network like I do, I have a ton of friends, like then you really need to build that, because you're sitting in front of a computer by yourself. Or if you're like Sarah, you go RAing by yourself, right? I tell her to get friends, but you know, it's lonely. It really is. And so that's an important part. So I appreciate you sharing that. I'm trying to think. I don't want to hold you too long, just artificially. Think about any other questions I have. Anybody else have any questions? Obviously, drop your email if you want access to the notes. You're gonna have all those links in there. Also, go sub to his YouTube channel. We did get him to 1,000 with this money. So I appreciate you guys doing that.
Oh, well, you know what's crazy? I will say it's funny because I have a new YouTube video that will get released in the morning, breaking down Amazon and Walmart pros and cons. So definitely check it out. And it's crazy that this happened today, because it took me a month and a half to do this YouTube video, and you'll see why when you watch it. So
I love it. I love it
so much, man. That's awesome.
Here's a question from Kiki.
Sure.
Kiki, are you? I don't have the screen up, so I don't even know if you're on screen. But
I see it.
So the question about account health. So if you see it, so go ahead and take that one on.
Yeah. So do you have the same health account risk? You do not. You're going to get graded on account health, which is going to be, are you applying to your customers? Are you shipping out your items on time? Are your refunds under 6%? That's going to be what's going to determine if your account's deactivated or not. And cancellations is another one. So on Amazon, for example, excuse me, need some more water. On Amazon, if you are, sorry, my bad, I'm losing my train of thought. If you cancel an order, for example, it's not always the worst thing. Or if you ship out an order today, but you don't drop it off to tomorrow, it's okay, right? With Walmart, it's not okay. They want that shipped today, scanned today, and they mark you for it. So if you don't do those things, that's how you get your account health messed up, right? So very, very, very different, but it's very simple. If you buy 10 of something and you sell it fulfilled from your house, just list the item at 9 or 8 units and sell out, then update it to 2. People always put the exact amount and then they sell one on Amazon or they give one away or one's broken. And they're like, oh, shoot, I don't have 3 of these. I sold them. And it's like, you can't do that. Please do not do that, anybody, because your account will get shut down and I can't help you. So hopefully that answers your question. I have a video on that as well. But they do IP, but it's not like your account's going to be read, you know, ding, 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 closed down like Amazon. So if you're brand new, just play it very safe, respond to all the customers, log into the dashboard every single day, not your phone, log in on the computer. I have an iPad, I have a MacBook, and I have a phone. I have a use for each separate thing, right? So just make sure you do that.
And actually, this last question is actually a question I wanted to ask you. So
yeah,
talk about your setup. So how much OA versus RA, how much WFS versus FS, how much Amazon versus Walmart?
Yeah, so I would say Amazon is about 60% right now. Walmart's about 40% as of this date, right this second. I'm set up that I live in Ohio. I have a prep center in Indiana, and I have a prep center in California. And the reason for that is a lot of my items are sometimes out of stock in one state, one of our 3. So I'll ship it to one, for example, ship it to the other. One prep centers for Walmart, one prep centers for Amazon. Both prep centers do both Walmart and Amazon, but that's just a nightmare. Why would I have 2 prep centers doing 2 of the same thing? So I have one prep center for Walmart, one for Amazon is how I operate. Wholesale on Amazon is about 90% of my business on Amazon side is brand direct and wholesale. 10% of it is going to be Legos because I am ungated, luckily. And then on the Walmart side, about 85% of that is online arbitrage. 5% of that is wholesale. The other 10 is RA. My partner lives an hour away, so she will pick up stuff for me and I pay her a cut if it's a really, really, really good item. I don't like to have my girl go out of the way if it's not good. But there are bangers out there. If she can make $150 and I can make $300, like, you know, I'm happy. So yeah, and then as far as the cutoff time goes, I think it's like 5 o'clock. I'm not too sure, Jennifer, on that. But if it says ship it out today, you kind of have to. So I just recommend doing Walmart Fulfilled once you start scaling, because you don't want to go to the UPS store every day to drop off 1 or 2 things. Like if it gets sent at 4:30 at night, you know what I mean? Like I'm not doing that. So,
and I actually took her question another way. I thought it was more about cutoff times. Like when is the last time you can buy that I have to ship it out today, right? So you can set it for 12 or 2 or 4 or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, unfortunately, you cannot change the time on it. You could change the lag time of the listing, but it doesn't work for me personally. So the lag time means like you said, like, you know, 2 business days, 3 business days.
Got you.
It's never really worked for me,
right.
to be honest. And if you do decide to add a lag time, which is going to delay it, it is going to affect your buy box.
Yep.
So just, you know, like if my opinion is that if you want to do fulfillment by yourself because you want to learn the ropes, by all means, 100%. But to scale it, like, and you don't want to have to worry about dropping it off because you work and stuff, like I just wouldn't risk it, because there's going to be an order that creeps in once you get out the shower at 4 o'clock and you're going to be like, oh my God, I have to go drop this off. I'm telling you, it's happened to me before a flight one time. So yeah, be careful.
All right, what do you got, Sarah? And I see my man Aquino, he slid in. He's another one who's a titan on Walmart. He's really crushing it. So what's up?
That's what's up, man. What's up, man? That's what's up. Hell yeah.
What do you got, Sarah?
Come back to me. I forgot my question.
We love questions.
I forgot it.
Oh, you forgot? You
Yeah.
just raised your hand.
Shut up, Paolo.
I love it. All right. Anything else? Anybody else? Give Sarah a half a second. And it's so funny. You're on spotlight, even though you don't have your question. But that's hilarious. Let me see. Anything else in the chat? Come on. I'll give you 30 seconds, Sarah. Before.
Okay. Well, this is not my original question,
All right.
but what is the process for sending it to Walmart to fulfill, like you would do FBA? Whatever Walmart version is of that. Is it easy, or what are the fees on that? You know, would you compare it to Amazon?
Yeah, I compare it to Amazon. I mean, you don't have to put labels on your items, which is going to save you time and money if you do have a prep center. They do use FedEx as their preferred carrier as well. So With Amazon, you go to UPS. With Walmart, you'd go to FedEx, which is nice. Like I have a FedEx literally right across the street from me. So that's nice, but it's the same concept. As far as the pricing goes, it is cheaper. It's not as cheap as what it was last year or the year before. I mean, it used to be like stupid cheap, like really, really, really
It's
cheap.
cheaper than it is now because those prices seem cheap. to
Oh,
me.
it was cheaper than it
Oh,
is now.
crap.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
price
yeah.
Is it,
is sick.
like, do they have, you know how Amazon has the 5-box method when you're sending in an FBA shipment?
Optimized shipments.
Yeah, optimized to like avoid placement fees. Do they have something like that, or is it like you
No,
send
it's
it
not
off to
like
one place?
No, it's typically you send it all to one place unless it's a one-off item. So like if you have one like snow shovel, they might have you send the snow shovel to Texas and the rest to wherever. But
Okay.
it's very, very simple, and there's not a weight limit either. So you don't have to do 50 pounds like Amazon.
Wait, and there's no placement fees, are there?
No.
Yeah, so it doesn't even matter, Sarah.
Okay, what about the check-in times?
I mean, it's the same, like, 2-3 weeks, sometimes faster. My warehouse is in Atlanta, which is not the best one, unfortunately. I've had a lot of lost units there. But right now it's about 16 days, I would say.
It depends on where you send it, because my warehouse is in Phil 5, which is in like Pennsylvania, and I had stuff delivered yesterday. It's checked in today, and it's selling already.
Oh, hell yeah. There you go.
Yeah, so like Phil 5, Phil 1, like depends on where you at. They will send you basically to kind of like minimize the transit time and then spread the volume. But they're very much faster than Amazon, I should say.
Well, also, hey, I wanted to say I appreciate everybody for hopping on. I didn't realize it was 10:15.
Yeah.
I appreciate everybody. If you need anything, let me know. I'll be back. Omar, hit me up tomorrow. And I appreciate all of you very much. Thank you so much.
Appreciate
All right,
it. Great
Thanks for
call.
coming through.
Thanks, bro. See you guys.
Yeah.
Have a good one.